Hi, I'm Michelle from Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and it is time to start the row by row experience for 2019. If you're not familiar with the row by row experience, the way it works is quilt shops all over the world create rows for this year's theme, which is Taste the Experience. Quilters can visit the shops and pick up free patterns for each row, and there is also a competition aspect where the first person to return a completed quilt with at least 8 rows to each shop wins a prize. But honestly, I have not finished a single row in all the years I've been doing this, so I'm not worried about the competition part of it. I'm worried about the pretty patterns because someday I am going to finish quilts for all of the year's themes, I hope. So I am already planning my road trips around this year's shops. The Row by Row experience started June 21st and it goes till sometime in very early September. I can't remember the date off the top of my head. I divide up the shops in my area into mostly easy little road trips and a few more ambitious ones, and I decided that this year I'm going to film little mini tours of each shop along with some ideas of some fun things you can do in the towns if you are traveling with your families. Of course, if you're traveling with other quilters, the shops are what it is there for, but I'm sometimes traveling with the kids and we're looking for other fun things to do. So far I have been to 5 shops in 2 little quickie road trips. These are actually the ones that are on my way to the grocery store, so maybe a little bit of not cheating, but I wouldn't call these full-fledged road trips. These are just literally, I did these on my way to the grocery store. The first shop we visited was Yankee Dutch Quilting in Brownsville, Oregon. And the reason this shop was first on my list was because their block is absolutely adorable. It's a smaller shop, but pretty much everything on their walls is something that I could fall in love with. I love the gas pumps and the truck and lots of embroidery, lots of applique, lots of super adorable stuff. I love that barn with the windmill. This whole video is pretty much going to be, I love it, so just bear with me because it is a quilt shop and I am a quilter and this is the way that it works. Just at the end of the block is the Brownsville Stitching Parlor, which is a very nice little yarn shop. They have some pretty stuff in there that is very hard to resist. And then across the street is an antique store that the last time I was in there had a mounted and stuffed 2-headed calf, which I believe belongs to the city and they have on display. I can't remember exactly the details. Brownsville is where the film Stand By Me was filmed. There is a walking tour that will show you the different sites used in the movie, and you can download that on the city's website. I'll put a link to that in the description below. There is also the Lynn County Museum, which is an absolutely amazing little museum that has admission by donation, and if you have some extra time to spare, they have a little old-timey town set up in the museum, which the museum itself is in train cars. It is absolutely worth a visit. Our second stop of the day was the Finally Together Quilt Shop in Lebanon, Oregon. All of those bolts are a window decal. Don't worry, their fabric is not getting sun bleached in the window. Their block is a pieced cake stand, which is cute and actually looks fairly doable. This is a larger shop. It is full of eye candy and bright, pretty things to look at. And I was very happy to see that they've got a complete section of DMC floss. I didn't know that I could find that close from home, although there is a brand new needle workshop in Lebanon, ! Which I believe also has floss. If you go just down to the end of the block and turn right, 2 or 3 blocks down is Nitty Gritty, which is another cute little yarn shop. There are also some thrift shops and an antique store that is currently going out of business. I think when I drove by, their sign said that this is the last week, so If you're row by rowing later in the summer, it might not be there, which is a shame because it was a great shop. On our second little road trip, our first stop of the day was the Quilt Loft in Albany, Oregon. I have avoided the shop in the past because I don't parallel park if I can avoid it. I didn't realize that Albany has lots of great public parking lots, so that's not a problem. Their block is this crab. That thing is appliqued with a gazillion little pieces, and I absolutely love it. If I make a quilt, that crab is going in it. It's another fun little shop to visit. Is there a quilt shop that is not fun to visit? They have high ceilings and gorgeous eye candy on their walls, and I love the exposed brick. Albany has the neatest old buildings. I could just wander downtown all afternoon, and we almost would have if we hadn't been in a hurry. At the end of the road, just a little ways down, was our next destination. I had been hearing about the Albany Carousel for years, and somehow I never managed to figure out exactly where it was. In addition to having an absolutely gorgeous carousel that you can pay $2 to ride, they have a free tour. They have some historic carousel animals, which I cannot get enough of those. And then they also let you tour their carving area where they are working on animals that will go on the carousel upstairs. And seeing them in progress with the concept art on the walls behind them was just really neat. The second stop of the day was JanniLou Creations, which is easy to miss as you're driving down the street. It is that tan building there in the middle. Their block is a quilt is not a quilt without chocolate, and it is cute. Again, it is going in my quilt. The neat thing about this shop is that it is in an old theater. It is vast, and if my camera angle seems funny, that is because those ceilings are so high. I don't know how they get quilts up there, let alone how they change them. It is a fun place to visit. That's those taped over windows up there with the fake quilted faces. That was the original cry room of the theater. I think the owner said that it is storage now. And in the front room, which I guess would have been ticket sales and concessions, they have a pretty good selection of notions. I bought a really cute new sewing themed case for my sunglasses, which I decided I could not live without. I love this building and the vibe. And don't you just want to find a way up those stairs to the old projection room, or is it just me? Our third and last quilt shop of the day was Bolts to Blocks in Albany, and we timed it that way because they share a parking lot with Arby's and the kids were hungry. Their block is the Roadside Cafe, and I think that is a raccoon tail in the mixing bowl there. If I do make a quilt for 2019's Row by Row, that is one of the blocks that is going in my definite list of possibilities. Thank you so much for watching. I am Michelle from Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and I have at least 2 more road trips planned for the summer, hopefully more. I'll try to get footage in those shops and some other ideas for what you can do on the way. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more videos, and I'll be back to see you again soon.